Psalm 99. The Lord is King, let the nations tremble. He sits on his throne between the cherubim. Let the whole earth quake. The Lord sits in majesty in Jerusalem, exalted above all the nations. Let them praise your great and awesome name. Your name is holy. Mighty King, lover of justice, you have established fairness. You have acted with justice and righteousness throughout Israel. Exalt the Lord our God, bow low before his feet, for he is holy. We see again in this psalm a continued theme of the theme throughout almost every psalm, which is that the Lord is a God of justice and righteousness. And you can be sure that it will establish and will work and move on behalf of those things, to see justice and righteousness in the earth. And this psalm says you have established fairness. So again, we are talking about the scales of justice and right versus wrong. The Lord cares about that. The Lord will act with justice, the word of God says. He will act to establish fairness. Verse 6, Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel also called on his name. They cried to the Lord for help, and he answered them. He spoke to Israel from the pillar of cloud, and they followed the laws and decrees he gave them. O Lord our God, you answered them. You were a forgiving God to them, but you punished them when they went wrong. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy mountain in Jerusalem, for the Lord our God is holy. So we acknowledge that the Lord is holy. There is only one God, one true God, and he is holy. And he sits on his throne, and his throne is established on justice and righteousness. And he can do no unjust or unfair thing. He can do no unrighteous thing. Nothing that is unrighteous or unfair comes from God. And when he rises to enact and move in the earth, and when the time of judgment comes, you will see righteousness and justice come forth like the rising of the sun. And so we can be sure that God, this is who God is. No matter what others say, no matter about him or about how the world works, we can be sure that the God who sits on the throne above the earth, who is able to do whatever he wants and can act when he wants, is a God of justice and righteousness. And so we as his people in humility cry out, holy, holy is the God that we worship, and holy are his ways, and we can trust his holiness and his perfection to do exactly what is needed when we cry out to him.